The next one, Islam against Drew Dober. That's a good matchup as far as Drew Dober has been fighting way better in his last couple fights than he had. And now he is taking a big step up against Islam. This is a big fight, and you can, what was DC saying about Islam just earlier this week? He was going all crazy about him, knew how good he was, could see the kid was going to be like Khabib.
Yeah, he said you could see that kid was going to be like Khabib. With the little tighter stand-up today, Khabib will tell you he'll stand and strike with whoever he wants to. Islam Makhachev seemed a little more ready to go. Islam, and I don't know if you guys recall, it was a little while back, I think when he was supposed to fight Dos Anjos, is I had this conversation with you guys on this show, and I said, look, if I was to put the two of them in the cage together, Khabib and Islam, I would give the edge to Khabib, but only based off of mindset, not off of ability. When it comes down to it, Islam is the better wrestler. Islam's the better sambo guy. Islam's got better foot sweeps. Islam is a better striker. Islam to me and to me, I feel like also better submissions. But what Khabib has is the mindset and the big brother. That's what he has. And that goes a long way when you have two guys that grew up together. I believe they've grown up together since they were 3 years old. I heard 3, 6, somewhere in there. I've heard it from a couple different people. Khabib has said 3 to me. So at 3 years old, they've been friends and they've been best friends. They're the closest of all of them. And so when you have this when we were having this conversation about him, he is better than Khabib everywhere. But when it comes to Khabib, he's got the big brother on him. Khabib's got the big brother on him. But that's it though. And I wouldn't even say it's a big brother. They work so well together. There's such a mutual respect. When we talk about Americans having the big brother on you, one bullies the other. That's not how it works with these guys. They do whatever it takes to make the other one better.
To bring him up.
Yes, they work on whatever the game plan is. Khabib will do that for Islam when it comes fight time. Whatever the game plan was for Khabib to beat Conor, Islam would do that for Khabib. It was never I'm going to get you, I'm going to big brother you. And it was never that, and it happened all the time in the gym at AK for us. It was like if it was somebody sparring, it was the other person trying to big brother them a little bit. But in this group of guys, it just didn't happen. It never really happens. And then some days they'll spar little gloves, no egos got involved, and they would touch each other a little hard, but then they always wanted to make sure that whoever was fighting got to the fight. It didn't get to the point where it was like, no, I'm going to show you, I'm going to one up you. No, the most important thing is you getting to the fight and you winning. And so when we talk about his abilities, and I've said this forever, his grappling, his jiu-jitsu is absolutely insane. He's better than all the other Russians that we've ever had come through that door in jiu-jitsu. Better. His submission game is phenomenal. He can submit you from anywhere. I mean, I've seen him hit, and he's caught me as well in the twister 2 or 3 times. And it's like, to catch my little scrawny, scrolly ass all around that mat, he's phenomenal. And not just because he's strong, he gets there technically, and not just me, he's tapped a ton of other good guys that are black belts in our gym that have come through in twisters. And just in terms of like, hey, let me show you what I can do. Something new to him. He just can't. And what people don't get, and I've said this with Khabib forever, is that their bottom game and their sweep game is better than their top game. That's how good they are. And when they're like, oh yeah, well if they're on bottom, they're going to get on top as soon as they get on bottom. That's how good they are. All of them, but mainly Islam and mainly Khabib. People don't realize how good their sweeps are from the bottom. Even from mount position, they find ways to get their sweeps. Even from the full guard, they will put themselves in position to get their sweeps. That's how good they are. And for me, Islam is the guy who is going to take over that division in the lightweight division at the UFC. Now, don't get me wrong. Dober's dangerous, John. You know that. He's dangerous on the feet. I think he's dangerous on the feet. His movement's going to play a little bit of a threat. He's going to slip and counter if he does that. But how is he going to handle a southpaw? And the one thing that Islam Makhachev does very well is he hides that head kick from that side behind his punches. And I've been on the receiving end of it, and he hides it very well. And it's nasty because it doesn't look like he's going to throw a head kick until it's already there. And then as well as that he throws a good body kick, which he got from Luke. So the way he steps off on his right hook and throws that rear body kick to the body is nasty good. So, and then, I mean, there's just no way that Dober's taking him down. There's just no way.
No.
And if he tries,
I don't think he's going to try.
Yeah, even if he tried, it's not good for him. But look, this is a fight, and you know this is a fight. Anything can happen. And Islam has been caught and clipped, and that's his one loss. But I don't think that Islam has taken any of this for granted. And I think that he's going to make sure that everything stays on point. He's gotten way better in the last year than most people realize. And I'm excited to see what happens and how he performs, because he has had some time off. He's had the Dos Anjos fights that's supposed to happen.
A lot of time off.
Yeah, so he's had some time off. Is there ring rust going to happen? Are we going to see any of that? But I doubt it. He's been training. These guys never stop training. I can't tell you. These guys never stop training, ever. And so they're constantly training. They're up early to pray. They go to bed, in the evening to pray. Like they're up on a schedule. They're on a schedule. Their praying schedule dictates when they can train. And then they make sure that in between praying schedules that they can train, and they train hard. And not only do they train hard, when they can't train hard, they train consistently. They push each other back and forth, but they make sure that no one gets injured. John, he's good.
Oh,
Can he live up to it? I don't know.
That's the question. It comes down to the same thing. Pressure. It either crushes you or creates diamonds. We'll see which one.
Well, I mean, have you reffed his fights? Any of his fights?
No, I've been there for his fights. I've never reffed one of them.
His control, like when you watch the Lens fight, his control is frustrating. It's like, it's a little bit like Khabib, but he's longer. He'll threaten the submissions a little bit more. He doesn't talk like, when he's sparring with you. I mean, when he grapples with me, he'll talk, but
then he's definitely not like Khabib, because all Khabib does is talk.
Yeah. They're different in personality. Islam's a little quieter, but he's good kid. Very good kid. I don't see how he loses the fight outside of getting clipped. Otherwise, his stand-up is phenomenal as well.
Gonna be good.
What do you think? Come on. You gotta give me more than this. Come on. I just spent 4 minutes pumping up my boy.
No,
give me the devil's advocate version of this. Come on.
I can't, because I think Islam is just a better overall fighter than Drew Dober, and I really like Drew. He's fun to watch. He's good, but he's not the fighter that Islam is. Yeah. He just doesn't have the full game. He's gonna live. His ground game's gotten a lot better. It's not up to Islam's ground game. And so you look, you go, where's his area to win? Well, his best area to win is going to be, in the stand-up and clipping him. And he can hurt him, and anybody can get hurt. So that's there. But you look at the reality of it, he's the definite underdog in this fight. Yeah. And there's a reason why. Islam Makhachev is good everywhere. And when you got a guy that can go anywhere in the fight, it makes him dangerous. So, yeah, I would say he's definitely the favorite. I think he's going to win the fight. But the real question is, he has had a long layoff. Yeah. There's been time that, he's been out of the cage. And so how is he going to perform? I think he'll perform great. Just part of who he is. I
want to know, because I think he's a 2 or 3 time world Sambo champion. I want to know if he believes in himself. That's what I want to see. Because, like, you watch his fight against, who was the big guy? Gleason Tebow. You watch his fight against Gleason, like, he was almost shocked that he was able to knock him out. And I'm like, man, you're so good. You shouldn't be that surprised. He was like almost extremely surprised. He's like, oh my God, he didn't know what to do. I'm like, you're really good. I don't think he realizes how good he is if he believes in himself that he is that good.